21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari is a thought-provoking nonfiction book that delves into the most pressing issues of our time. Harari, an Israeli historian and author, divided the book into 21 chapters, each focusing on a different topic and providing insightful analysis. 1. The Challenge of the 21st Century. This chapter discusses the challenge of technological disruption, specifically the rise of artificial intelligence and automation. Harari argues that these technologies will fundamentally change the way we live and work, and that we need to start thinking about how to prepare for this new future. 2. The Future of Humanity. The second chapter of the book discusses the importance of adapting to change and how we can learn to be more flexible in our thinking and behavior. Harari argues that in order to survive in the 21st century, we need to be able to adapt quickly to new situations and environments. 3. Work. The third chapter of the book is titled Work, and it examines the impact of automation on the job market. Harari argues that many jobs will become obsolete in the coming years, and that we need to start thinking about how to retrain workers and provide them with new skills. 4. Liberty. The fourth chapter of the book is titled Liberty, and it explores the tension between individual freedom and collective responsibility. Harari argues that in order to maintain a free society, we need to be willing to give up some of our individual rights in order to ensure the safety and well-being of the community as a whole. 5. Equality. The fifth chapter of the book is titled Equality, and it examines the growing gap between the rich and the poor. Harari argues that the current economic system is exacerbating this divide, and that we need to find new ways to distribute wealth more equally. 6. Community. The sixth chapter of the book is titled Community, and it explores the importance of social connections and relationships in the modern world. Harari argues that as technology continues to advance, we are becoming increasingly isolated and disconnected from each other, and that this is having a negative impact on our mental health and well-being. 7. Civilization. The seventh chapter of the book is titled Civilization, and it examines the challenges facing modern civilization, including climate change, nuclear war, and other existential threats. Harari argues that we need to start taking these threats more seriously and working together as a global community to address them. 8. Nationalism. The eighth chapter of the book is titled Nationalism, and it explores the rise of nationalist movements around the world. Harari argues that while nationalism can be a powerful force for good, it can also lead to violence and intolerance, and that we need to be wary of its darker side. 9. Religion. The ninth chapter of the book is titled Religion, and it examines the role of religion in the modern world. Harari argues that while religion has played an important role in human history, it is becoming increasingly irrelevant in the modern world, and that we need to find new sources of meaning and purpose. 10. Immigration. The 10th chapter of the book is titled Immigration, and it explores the challenges facing immigrants and refugees in the modern world. Harari argues that we need to find new ways to welcome and integrate immigrants into our societies, and that we need to be more compassionate and understanding towards those who are fleeing persecution and violence. 11. Terrorism. The 11th chapter of the book is titled Terrorism, and it examines the threat of terrorism in the modern world. Harari argues that while terrorism is a real and serious threat, we need to be careful not to overreact and become overly fearful. Harari examines the nature of terrorism in the modern world and argues that we need to find new ways to combat this threat, including addressing the underlying grievances and root causes that lead people to engage in terrorist activities. 12. Community. This chapter discusses the importance of community in the modern world and the challenges posed by globalization and technology. Harari argues that while globalization and technology have brought many benefits, they have also weakened traditional communities and created new forms of social isolation and alienation. He suggests that we need to find new ways to create and maintain meaningful communities in order to address these challenges. 13. Humility. This chapter discusses the importance of humility in the face of the challenges and uncertainties of the modern world. Harari argues that we need to be humble in our understanding of the world and our ability to solve problems, and that we need to be open to different perspectives and ideas. 14. God. This chapter explores the role of religion in human history and the decline of organized religion in the modern world. Harari argues that while religion has played an important role in the human culture and society, it is becoming increasingly irrelevant in the face of scientific and technological advancements. 15. Secularism. This chapter discusses the rise of secularism and the challenges it poses to the traditional religious beliefs and practices. Harari argues that while secularism has many positive benefits, it can also lead to a sense of meaninglessness and nihilism, and that we need to find new sources of meaning and purpose. 16. Ignorance. This chapter examines the problem of ignorance in the modern world, and the ways in which it can lead to prejudice, discrimination, and conflict. Harari argues that we need to be vigilant in our pursuit of knowledge and understanding, and that we need to be willing to challenge our own assumptions and beliefs. 17. Justice. This chapter discusses the importance of justice in creating a fair and equitable society. Harari argues that justice is not just a matter of punishing wrongdoers, but also of creating a system that is fair and just for everyone. 18. Post-truth. This chapter examines the rise of post-truth, politics, and the ways in which it undermines democracy and truth itself. Harari argues that we need to be vigilant in our pursuit of truth and evidence-based reasoning, and that we need to resist the temptation to embrace simplistic and misleading narratives. 19. Science fiction. This chapter explores the ways in which science fiction can help us to imagine and prepare for the future. Harari argues that science fiction can be a powerful tool for exploring. 20. Education. Discusses rethinking education to equip students with the necessary skills for the modern world. 21. Meaning. Explores the search for the purpose in the modern world. Overall, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century is a thought-provoking book on important issues facing humanity. Harari's engaging and accessible writing provides valuable perspectives on complex topics, and this book is a must-read.